here is a series for your thoracic spine. That's going to be your T1 through 12. All right, so it starts at the base of the neck, and it's going to run down around to where your ribs are on the back side of your body. First thing we're going to do is just kind of loosen up the area, and we're going to do that either with a foam roller or a peanut, which you can take two tennis balls and duct tape them together. That works perfect too. What we're going to do first is we're just going to spend a minute getting comfy on that foam roller. Let's stay off of that lumbar spine, so we're not going to roll that low back. We're going to keep it from about those ribs up on the body. So lay that there. Make sure your hair is out of the way. Just kind of relax. Roll it back and forth. Feel out where you're really tight, where you may have some sticky spots. You're going to hit that for a minute. Okay? You can also get in there a little bit deeper, bring those hands in front of you. You may have some pops and cracks happening, so just feel that out. Find what it is that you want to feel. Next thing we're going to do is just create a little bit of traction through that spine. So I'm going to use a box. You can use a step or just a stool, something safe that you're able to stand on. At the gym, I like to use the kettlebell. At home, just going to use a dumbbell. I'm going to stand on this box and send those hips back to that hip hinge and send that body forward. Okay, try to keep that back nice and long. The neck is nice and long and relaxed. Make a little traction. Let that hang. You're going to hang out there for about 30 seconds. Okay, bend the knees. Bring that weight back up. Make sure you got that nice tight core to get back out of that position. Okay. Next up, we're going to take it back to the roller or the peanut, whichever you want. If you are using, if you're using either, you're going to pick about 3 segments in there to do some extensions from. So, first one we're going to do, find one of those sticky spots for you. We're going to hit crossed extension. So our hands are going to be crossed in front of us. We're going to find a spot, middle of that spine, feet are down on the floor. Belly is nice and tight, hips are pressed into the floor. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to come from this sort of a crunched position back as far as we can go without those ribs flaring out. So we want to keep that belly down. Okay? Very, very important. So let's go through. We're going to come back. Remember to breathe. Remember to keep those ribs down and forward. Keeping those crossed in front. Let's go for 10 there. Then we're going to go for a straight arm extension. So we're going to do both arms straight up and take that back. Again, keep that belly tight. Try not to flare those ribs. Going for 10, back and forth. After you finish those 10, we're going to go with one arm at a time. Okay? So coming forward and taking it back. If you want to alternate here, you can. Taking one back and then the other. Okay? Those are both very acceptable options. Alrighty? Next up, we're going to work on that rotation through the thoracic spine. It's going to help to strengthen the spinalis muscles that are along each vertebra. You'll probably also, I'll give you a couple of different ways to go through this. If your chest is really tight and that's keeping you from rotating, we've got a couple of hand positions that we can use here. So what we're going to do, set up. On all fours, we're going to send those hips back. Have a seat. That's going to lock our low back down as we come forward. That way, as we do this movement, we're not twisting through the low back. We're actually really targeting that thoracic spine. Okay? So, sit back on those hips, locking that low back into place. We're going to take our elbow between the knees. Okay? So, elbows on the floor. The same side as your elbow, that rib is going to stay tacked down onto that leg the whole time. Okay? opposite hand. You've got really tight shoulders. You can bring your arm in front of you, tapping the floor, and twisting up, trying to look behind you, but keep those ribs down on that opposite side. And take it down to the floor. Otherwise, we can progress this, make it a little harder. We're going to take back of the hand to the head, all right? And twist back. So you're trying to press that elbow back far behind you as you can and taking it back to the floor. Okay. We're going to go for 10 to 15 of those on each side, all right? Make sure you get a nice contraction there. Hold that for about 2 seconds. Really feel it out, constantly fighting to get deeper and deeper and deeper each time. Okay. Next up, we're going to do a little bit to activate. So we're going to stay in that same child's pose. So big toes together. We can spread the knees apart if we need to. Come down into that child's pose. From here, we're going to straighten the elbows, straighten the arms overhead. While we're in that child's pose position, we're going to lift one arm and then the other. It's very challenging. You're going to be tempted to bend your elbows, so just keep working at it, okay? So from that child's pose position, arms are fully extended. We're going to go thumbs up, okay? Thumbs up, straight arm lift, straight arm lift. Right? Again, those are super challenging, so just kind of be patient with yourself, okay? And give that a nice little squeeze, working to build some muscle control and some new muscle memory there, all right? After that, you're going to have prone W's. So, you can lay on the floor in sort of a Superman position, right? I want you to keep your hips down into the floor. We don't want to use our low back here, so keep those hips driven down into the floor, really pressing into the floor. We're going to keep the head on straight, nice and in line. So staring at the floor. We're going to bring those arms up, and then we're going to pull back into this W position. What I very commonly see here is people pulling this way. I want you to think about that external rotation of the shoulders. We're trying to work all through that scap. So I want your elbows coming down and your hands coming up towards the ceiling as much as possible. Okay, nice big squeeze. It's going to look like this. So everything's nice and tight. Hips are down into the floor, so there's no arch in that low back. And squeeze it up. All right, make sure you're extending those arms all the way, nice and straight, and then bringing it back. All right, and there you have it.